What's up YouTube? Eric Vasquez here from Teach Me to Design, and today I am pumped because I've got a brand new video for you where I'm going to be showing you the easiest and the fastest way to match color to go from this to this anytime you're doing compositing work in Adobe Photoshop. So let's get started. Alright, so today I'm going to be showing you a very fast and easy method for matching color to any of your composites in Photoshop. And this is a really great and effective technique, so I'm going to jump into it and just do a quick demo for you using a few free images from Unsplash. And I'll be sure to put links to these images in the description below so you can follow along. Now, first things first, we've got a background, right? So let's say you're doing a composite and you've got a background and a foreground. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is duplicate this layer, all right, and I'll make it a smart object, and I'm just going to call it mountains. Now, I went ahead and prepared two silos for this demo beforehand, just so I can speed things up a little bit. But as you can see, right, these are two pretty different images. They're taken from two different times a day, two different places. You know, there's different properties here, right? There's different values, colors, contrast, all these things that aren't quite matching up, at least not yet. But what's really nice about this technique is that there's a really handy trick in Photoshop that will allow you to get there much faster. So instead of going and adding all of these adjustment layers and everything like that, what you want to do is go up here to the filter menu, choose neural filters, and then from the drop down, we're going to choose the option that says harmonization right here under color. And you'll probably have to, turn it on to activate it. You may even have to download it as it's still in the beta version, but it does work really well. So I assume it's only going to get better. Now, before it does anything, you'll have to come over here to where it says reference image, and it's going to ask you to select a layer. So now I'm going to select the Mountain Smart Object layer, and we're going to see the little loading progress bar on the bottom. But very quickly, you'll notice that Photoshop has done so much of the work for us. It just updated the image here, and you can see that it feels much cooler. There's a little bit less saturation, and it feels a little more contrasty, like it's actually part of the scene. But what's really great about this is that you still have control over these options over here, such as the strength or the intensity of the effect, as well as some of these color sliders, just like you would get with a color balance adjustment layer. And in addition to that, you also have some control over the saturation, if you want to pump up the saturation a little bit, as well as the brightness. So I'm going to boost the saturation a little, boost the brightness a little bit, and just like that, we can click OK to apply these changes. And let's just go ahead and make a copy of this. I'll turn off the neural filters on the layer below so that you can see before and after. Right, so just like that, with a couple of clicks, we're able to really quickly, easily match those colors. But let's go ahead and show you how this works with another image. All right, so I'm just going to minimize that image for a second, grab the other silo that I've prepared here, and I'll do another example here for you. So let's just go ahead and scale this image up a little bit. Right, and again, like with a lot of composites, you might have a lot of layers, you might only have a few layers, but generally in composites, you will at least have a foreground and a background. All right, so I'm just going to scale up the mountains a little bit more, zoom back in here, and again, two very different images, right? The lighting is different, but it's also different times of day, different temperatures, saturation, contrast, all that good stuff. But if you select your silo layer, go up to the filter menu, and once again choose neural filters, you'll just have to take on that harmonization option here under the color area, choose your source, which again will choose the mountains, and then within just a few seconds, Photoshop is able to update this image and make it look much more convincing, right? So if we bump up the strength a little bit more, you'll see that it's modified this image of the woman here walking in front of this guardrail or fence, and she feels much cooler, right? She's got the same kind of tones and coloring as our background image. But there's something else here that I want to show you, so I'm just going to go ahead and click cancel for a second. Let's say instead of matching our subject in the foreground to the background, we want to match the background to the foreground. Okay, so what we're going to do this time is select our mountains, come up to the filter menu and choose neural filters. Now, we'll go ahead and use the same kind of process here. We'll turn on the harmonization option. And then for our reference image, instead of choosing the mountains, we're going to choose the silo of this woman in the foreground. And now Photoshop will actually update the background to match the color, the tone, the contrast of our foreground image. Okay, and it might take a few seconds more, but let's go ahead and bump the strength up all the way to 100 and see what that does for us. Nice, very nice. And if we want to, we can add maybe like a little bit of a tint to it, maybe desaturate it just a touch. And very quickly and easily, you can see how you can start to build this up and create some really nice looking composites that are going to save you so much time. And really the beautiful thing about this is the fact that even after applying this harmonization neural filter, if we click OK, you can still go ahead and add other smart filters to this. You can add other adjustment layers to it just to enhance and push your composite even further. So for example, because I made this a smart object, if I wanted to just blur it a little bit so the background is out of focus, you can see I can always come back in here and turn that on and off. You've got all of these different adjustment layers that you can use, as well as your smart filters. So it's a really great technique and very effective anytime you're doing compositing work. So I just wanted to take you through that process and show you how this works. So if you did enjoy this video, please go ahead and smash that like button. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell so you never miss a video. Thank you all so much for watching. This is Eric Vasquez here from Teach Me to Design. And if you want to see how I apply some of these things into my workflow and how I create my own composites, then you definitely won't want to miss this video where I show you how to create an epic movie poster design. So go ahead and click that video and we'll see you next time.